Hey, so I wanted to come on here and make another video. It's 3:49, and then I got my job search stuff done for the day. And, I really like to get that out of the way because it does cause a lot of problems, but I'm starting to put a little bit more detail into it. So at least I'm getting better with that. It's taking time. The trauma is really, really great. And I was thinking earlier about, how employers get involved with people's personal life. And then I wanted to kind of talk about why. Obviously, this is a very good reason why they shouldn't. It causes a lot of outside commotion, because people don't understand like the long term and the damaging effects. Okay, let's just say, for example, this person, this stalker, was being sincere. Okay, and let's just say, for whatever reason, a stalker in general, okay, was interested in another person, right? Just take me out of the equation. Let's just make a completely different scenario, okay? So let's just say the girl's name is Mary Ann and the guy's name is Steve. I don't know. And Steve is, he's a not a malevolent person, like what happened with me, where I was dealing with a lot of harassment and this sort of stuff, and the bullying and all this crazy stuff. I mean, it's traumatizing. That's the biggest issue that I'm dealing with right now. But let's just say, for example, he really was a genuinely nice guy. Okay, he was a decent person. No one's nice or really good in this world, as we all can see, but he was okay. Anyway, so Steve's an okay guy, and he's blending in with all the people in the community to maybe just get this girl's attention. And what they're trying to do is, because they think that this would-be couple, right, would be compatible because he likes to laugh, she likes to laugh. He likes wearing pastel colors. She loves pastel colors. There's similarities and compatibility on the surface only. Okay, but when you dig deeper, Steve might be like a devout Catholic. He might be very, what's the word for it? Just real dominant, in his behavior. He might have different views than her. Not just, religious views, but he could have political views that could impact their relationship. Now, I understand most people just get like all fluttery when they think about sexual attraction or looking at somebody who kind of gives them that gut feeling, but compatibility is really important, especially if you don't want to get abused. And we all can see that it takes anything to abuse another person. Okay, and just a little bit of incompatibility can get on each other's nerves to the point of where it could be escalate to violence or whatever. People need to think about these sort of things, And if, let's just say, for example, this stalking activity that Steve was doing to this girl, right, lasted 5 years, and she had plans, she had things that she needed to take care of in her life. Okay, but meanwhile, this Steve guy was manipulating her employment. She needed to make her life decisions, and she's not able to do that until Steve decides that she can. You see what I'm saying? This is why it's against the law. But it puts me in a very frustrating situation because you don't know. You don't know about what you can do. You know what I mean? I know they have issues because I don't have a bachelor's degree and I've struggled and blah, 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 blah. And, the thing is, this whole thing should not have been this evasive. Like when you go around telling people, and then it creates competition in other people. I didn't do anything to them. I would never hurt anybody or whatever. I'm not a cutthroat person. And suddenly, a Bakersfield, which is known for being the most uneducated community, starts having education requirements. This is the reason why I moved here. You know what I mean? It's just funny to me. But anyway, this is why you do not spread things like this around in a community. Okay? I know it seems like you're doing an investigation. You just want to be, follow up on things. I get that. Okay? But that's not the correct procedure to do it, okay? Also, the rumors and everything else, that sort of outside intrusion, it creates complications for other people. You know what I mean? I have the right to negotiate with an employer regardless. I came to an uneducated town. I came here in a town that was known for being uneducated. I mean, I wasn't thinking about it at that time, and it wasn't explained to me at that time. But I noticed in the Bakersfield, California, which used to be delivered, And remember when like ads were plentiful when people used the newspaper? Bakersfield, California was delivered to Rosemont. And I would see all the jobs that were listed in there. And I'm like, holy cow, I could move there, get a little house, start my life. And it just was bullshit from the get-go since I got here. You know, I think people were like so fixated on the lie that I told my husband and all this other shit. You know, I'm a girl who is new to a community. I don't know anybody. Why am I going to sit here and divulge information, true information about myself? I'm going to play with people's head. I'm not loyal in that regard. I don't have to be. You know why? Because I'm new here. I don't know anybody. I don't need people knowing my name is Maria or whatever. I can tell them whatever. And as we can tell by this little issue about me lying about my race, what ended up happening was a girl who was half biracial was used as some sort of competition against me. Now, the funny thing is that this just goes to show you how racist these people are and how they value their white supremacy. I can go on and on and on. It's just ridiculous. It's sickening, really. But all it does is make this community look really bad. That's why it would be a national news, something that would draw attention. And it should be, okay? But I know this is a very hush-hush operation for good reason. But I'm the one who suffers. You see what I'm saying? Because everything that happened in this issue was so cold-blooded, so evil, so wicked, so malicious, that it wouldn't surprise me if someone wanted me dead. You see what I'm saying? Based on all the bullshit that I had to deal with. And we talk about the issue of the sex trafficking part. Oh my God, do you see why? I have a hard time sleeping. Yeah. Think about it. You know what I mean? It endangers the life of a person. I take that seriously. These laws are written for reasons. They're written to protect our rights and our safety. You know? I'm stretching a little bit because I'm like, cramped in there. But they're for our safety. You know? And that's why I was saying, don't do this. Stop doing it. Knock it off. Please knock it off. You know, this is why. But it gets so out of control. The bullying, the escalation of bullying, you know. I can't tell you. There was this girl, I forgot what her name was. I forgot the name of the company. But it was one of those, shoot. I'm not going to bring her up. Whatever. Because it just seems like, what I'm saying is, the wicked behavior of these people who did this is, to me, enough to send chills down my spine. That's why. You know, I needed you to stop it. You know, and I should have cracked down the law a long time ago, but I had a hard time doing it because people were told not to listen. This is why. This is illegal. This is why I'm taking this route. Okay? I care about my life. Okay, I don't need people trivializing it. Because for many years, people only saw me as the little quirky girl, and that no one really thought very highly of me as a person. They didn't think of me as a person at all. In fact, they thought that because of my high IQ, because I was quirky, they didn't understand that. They thought I was dumb. So they thought there was something mentally wrong with me. So that made them want to use me as some sort of scapegoat and to gain friendships and have other people bully me as well. Do you honestly think I could trust any of you guys? You're the epitome of what an evil person is. No, I don't want anything to do with you. I do need you to clear the air for me. I deserve that. I deserve to go on with my life, you know? And I want to start over again, somehow, you know? And I know I like the writing part of it. I'm still learning a lot of different programs. There's a lot to this, okay? And there's a lot of competition out there, you know, mainly because I'm not the only one who does that kind of stuff or was interested in that kind of stuff. So it's like I'm learning the ropes. So I don't think, and it's irrational for these people who are already abusive in their behavior to be their attitude to be like, well, she needs to get out there. You do not know what it's like to experience trauma. That's huge trauma. So, and I have to deal with it with myself. With people, gaslighting me. Not feeling like I really fit in because there's too much gossip going on around me. I hate it. I hate it. I just want to work like everyone else. I don't need you pointing out my clothes, my hair, what I'm doing. It doesn't matter if I was to wear the same shirt the girls at work wear, just like a uniform. You know what it is? It's not the uniform. My skin's always going to be brown. I'm not going to be able to change that. That's what the real issue is. It's funny, there was a show, the internet show. Forgot the name of it, but it was funny. It's about this black girl who goes into the workforce, right? The reason why I started watching it because during that time, it came out like in 2012, I think. And during that time, this is what was going on. The hate shit that was going on over the farmer's place was escalating to the point where it was just like, oh my gosh, you could tell that something evil was just like really coming through that company. So it's funny, I was watching YouTube and this thing comes on, this girl, her name is Racy on the show. Her name is Racy, about her hair at work. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is so funny. But this is a black woman who wrote this show, okay? She's talking about her own experiences, and how they just always want to tweak you and they just can't quite tweak you right. Because here's the issue. When you wear clothes that you're being played down, just like if I was wearing baggy clothes, okay? And she demonstrated this on the show and I could relate because it's happened to me. Okay, if you wear baggy clothes, just crappy clothes, and I didn't do my hair, and I walked around like the standard that I see around here, guess what people call me? They call me ghetto. They'd call me ghetto. Okay? And if I dress nice, then they have an issue with that too. Okay, you know why? Because they don't like you, regardless. Just like my family does. And they spread that bullshit everywhere. I have done nothing wrong to anyone. I don't deserve this shit. And no, I did have a hard time growing up because of the bullying. The desensitized. I don't want to hear that you're sorry. Because here's the deal. You knew all along. After 1,200 videos, after so many years of talking about this, there's nothing to say. But you do have a responsibility to clear your shit up. To fix what you did. Like Jennifer Collins, if you did this shit, you need to unround it. And there's always going to be somebody. You know what you've created? You've created those weird shadow people. Okay? Now, even though the issue could be resolved completely, they still love the fight. And their attention has already been drawn to me. And they still want to teach me a lesson. Because you know why? I'm the kind of person, because if you dress nice, people don't want you to dress nice. Because they start getting jealous and competitive. You've created enemies in a community. You create chaos. You brought evil down on a community with your own fucking intent. Yeah, you did. On an individual for fun. And you certainly couldn't get enough of it. And I'm spouting off today because, anytime I have to look for work, I start getting explosive. Because it's explosive or depressed or agitated. It's just sickening what I've had to go through because of your hate crime. So you should not be surprised that I want to tell you guys to fuck off forever. Do not think that you're endearing to me in any way. Okay? You're what they call bad seeds. Like that, what is that? My mom used to talk about this movie. I think that's what it's called, The Bad Seed. They actually made an earlier version of it, like a more recent version in the 90s. But this little girl was like the classic one that was made in the 50s or maybe the early 60s. This girl, Rhoda, was just wicked. From the very get-go. I mean, she would do shocking things and then she would, do this gaslighting to her mom and butter her mom up you're the prettiest mommy, complimenting her mommy and all this other stuff, but they were sick. It's just sick. is what I had to deal with. Okay? I don't deserve your bullying because you recognize me now as a person who really wasn't that person. And in your mind, it's competition. Me existing is not competition. And when you make it a competition in the workplace, challenging people, bullying people, creating chaos and issues, this is why it's not supposed to be done. And I've made videos about it. And guess what? You amp it up. What does that tell me? That you fucking hate me. Okay? You fucking hate me. And I hate you too. We're enemies. But sometimes enemies have to get along. They have to cooperate. And since you're in a position of power, I suggest you cooperate with me. Okay? Now, I'm already getting restraining orders. I don't want to hear or see another small sliver of you. You know, people think just because you're blood relations, your blood, you know, you come from the same background, that obligates you. It doesn't obligate me to do shit. Okay? You're wicked to the core. And I know it. Now, I want to get the fuck out of Bakersfield. Now, I'm willing to stay in Bakersfield if I can find a job. If I don't feel that fucked up weird presence. Right now, I need to make money. I need to work. Okay? And yeah, I do. I seriously do want to. I want to write. I enjoy writing. You know what I mean? And to me, I'm right here at this point in my life. I am at a balance where it's like, you know, I'm thinking about, okay, go out and getting clients, right? Okay, that takes a while. And then I have to sit here and combat rumors and bullshit and stuff like that. And then people having the nerve to tell me that I don't look like I fit in. This is why it's bullshit. Okay, like I said, it would not matter. What you have an issue with is my skin color. What you have an issue with is black people. Okay, because I wear the same goddamn clothes that everyone else wears, okay? Standard-wise. Like, you know, here she's wearing jeans, I'm wearing jeans, she's wearing a shirt. What it is that you are upset because I care about something that's important to me, which is my body. And then you try to bully me and make me feel bad about it. And then try to put me in a genocide program to beat me up and take my life force. I have every right, I'm entitled to be the way that I am. That's genocide. Do you understand that? And I wasn't taken seriously when I said it. It was funny to you. Everything I say is funny to you. You are sick and twisted. When I say the law, I expect people to, wow, you know, I could be held accountable, or I could kill somebody doing this, or this is wrong. You're not liable citizens. You know. Anyway, I am worn out. Just drained, you know. I really need to get some sleep. I'm frustrated because it's like, you know, people don't realize that there are some women, and I'm one of those women. You know, most women are settled down and they have kids or grandkids, whatever. And some people think, well, she should go out and do that. No. Not unless it happens miraculously. And I will tell you, the people that they're trying to pull out for me, I'm trying to run from. Okay? They're wicked and they're evil. They're a part of this. I wouldn't be with somebody who'd do this. Somebody who's going to sit here and spy on somebody, and that's crazy. Create hate crimes, bully them. Hey, you know what? If you want to do something for a person, you do it upright, up front. You know? Just doing things behind the scenes stuff can be deadly. All right? It can be. So anyway, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say. You know, I'm at a point where it's like, that's a lot of things to make up to think about for a person like me. I'm all by myself with people that you've set and trained to bully. And, you know, I would say that things have gotten nicer. It's not like it was before, okay? Because, you know, people treat me decent. They you know, I make, you know, talk and small talk and stuff like that. So no, that's not going on right now, okay? But it did. And it's enough to cause me problems. And it still lingers, because like when in my last workplace, it was there. It was there. You know, and I didn't appreciate it. I don't want to hear people saying, "Oh, you're having." I don't need the teasing and shit. Like, look, it's, you know what? I shouldn't be wearing a uniform anyway. Okay? The issue should be dropped. I have the right to be how I am. You know, and if I was in a relationship and a guy was uncomfortable, let's just say, for example, it was really that Steve guy, and he ended up getting that girl, right? So Steve and him, they're starting to date, you know, and he sees her wearing her cute clothes to work, and he's like, well, you know, it makes me feel bad. That's between them to discuss whether it makes him feel bad or whatever. If he uses other people to make sure his girl doesn't wear those clothes, guess what's going to happen? They're going to bully her. Think about it. It's none of their business. And you're probably thinking, oh, she's 52 years old. It's time for her to change. Don't you dare tell me how to live my goddamn life. I am well within my right to live the way that I am. I am who I am based on circumstances. Okay? And it makes sense. I don't have any little kids sit here and be a model to and, you know, do the sort of things that a lot of women my age are doing. So therefore, this ends up being my life. Duh! It's none of your business. None of your business. And I'm angry. I'm so angry. Today I'm angry and I'm tired and I'm drawn, worn out, and I just have a lot on my mind right now. You know, I have a lot on my mind right now. And I feel as though, you know, I'm in a world where it just makes me sick. It makes me sick. You know? I'm at that point where it's just like, well, what am I going to do? You know? What am I living on time? I'm worried about that. You know, what's open to me? Am I going to be bullied by somebody? Where am I going to go? You know? What am I going to do? That's why. Okay? That's why I care about what people do with my life. My life. Not anyone else's. You know? I'm angry because Bruce had no right to be in my business. Some people would say, oh, that's not true. He did. Okay, he should have. But he should have done up front. He should have told me that this is what he was doing. Since it had to do with my life. Some people say, oh, well, you know, he didn't want to pay child support, so he helped you get a job. Okay, well, you know what? I ended up losing them. Beyond my control. Because you don't like my shoes, you don't like my hair, you don't like whatever. Just leave me alone. Stop the bullying. You know? It sucks. Anyway, I think I'm just going to hang out for the rest of the day and do some thinking, you know? No, I don't. You know, I'm by myself. You know what I mean? And it's hard because, you know, I have a lot on my shoulders. Okay? I have a lot on my, you know, that I have to think about. What am I going to do? You know, I would never trust these people ever again. I have to run. You know, I have to run. You know, my brother's crazy. And I don't know why anybody did. But, you know, half the world's crazy anyway. I mean, they don't think about what they do. You know, I don't trust that man. I will never trust him. Okay, and people think just because you're family that you have this sort of sympathy and compassion. Not when somebody is capable of goddamn murder. And I don't care if he's sorry. Okay? I need to feel protected now. More so than anything else. This is what I was sitting there talking about. This is what I was concerned about. You know? This is what stalkers do. They get in. They're intertwined with the network. You know? And they cause, like, just unspeakable pain. Unspeakable pain. And, you know, the funny thing is, my brother never liked Bruce. And see, this is how they work. You know, they all hate each other, you know, but they have this common enemy, i.e. me, right? Good grief. What did I do, Bruce? Nothing. Never did anything, Bruce. I used to just, I will tell you, that my crying fits and my, I don't know why he's so mad at me. I will tell you, it was a lot of the time, it was the result of how he would bewilder me with his inability to take responsibility for what he would do. And this is what young people do, so I'm not blaming him entirely for that, but it used to just like, I didn't understand it, because it was like, we were cool at 1 minute, and then the next he'd flip on me, and then it's just like, you know what, I don't get it. And you realize when you get older, you can't make people care about you, and you move on, okay? I've long forgot about Bruce, okay? But I've never worked against him, in my adult life. I never did anything to him. I would never bully somebody, tell somebody what they're supposed to do. And this was a racist attack. Let's just be real here. That's so fucking racist, dude. I can't even, oh my God. It blows my mind. No, and I get the feeling that what you guys don't like is you don't like my untamed behavior. Well, you know what? I can be very respectful and delightful, when I'm mellow, okay? But you guys make me so pissed off. Like, I don't even have control. And I shouldn't have control. Because what you guys do, you are deserving of death, in my opinion. The pain, the shit that you cause, like, it's unspeakable. Anyway, yeah, so I got a lot to think about, and all I think about is like how corrupt people can be, how people in power, you've totally convinced me that this whole world is corrupt. People in power, my God, I've lost all respect. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I show respect, like when I see someone older and they can't, open the door, I'll open the door for them. That sort of stuff I respect. But I don't respect. What I don't respect is how you abuse people. Just because what you think you have and how important you think you are. And what I don't care what you have. To me, you're miserable human beings. Oh. There's so much trauma that went through my brain. Like, I sometimes have to backtrack, like, just how much and who is all involved in this. Like, I start thinking, okay, start from the beginning. I thought it was the girl at work. I thought she was, and then I kept thinking, okay, wait, this happened over at Organized Sports. Look, I know you don't give a shit about my life. But when you've dealt with this and you fail to have a stable income continuously all your life, and I remember that girl, when they started bullying me, that stupid Selena girl was saying, the problem is you. She tries to use the same tactics that my family uses on me. I should have known my family was behind this. You know what? The problem is, I'm me, and I have the right to be me, and you don't like it. That's what it is. And my difference at the beginning had nothing to do, was in no way, in any way, shape, or form, to me, for trying to reject you or put you down. It had nothing to do with that. I didn't know who you really were until just recently. Okay? Before, I thought you guys could be annoying sometimes, but it was something I could overlook, and yes, I cared. Now I see you guys for what you are, and I am freaked the fuck out. Seriously. It really does come down to the fact that not knowing the law is no excuse. Did you honestly think that it was a good thing to sit there and do that sort of stuff? Was it supposed to be funny? Throwing somebody out of a job and thinking that's funny? After you knew you bullied them in school and they were struggling? You know what I mean? You know what you are, because the fact that you thought that something was wrong with me and you use other people to bully me, you are evil. Plain and simple. And I'm doing everything I can to get the fuck away from you. I don't ever want to see you again. And don't give me this, but we had to, no, we don't. Because while you thought we were having good times, you were plotting behind my back. You're fucking evil. That's what you are. And surprise, surprise, Bruce's mom is just as evil as anyone else. Do you understand how my mind is blown? Yeah, my mind's blown. Completely. You know? To find out that for 20-something years in my work life, and then that's not even including what was going on in school, okay? I had people who wanted me dead. For fun. And I realized, my goodness, this is the kind of family I come from. People used to see it like I could not see it. I could not see it. People would tell me this. And they would bring up this issue about what their mom did. And so because they were trying to tell me, Maria, I understand what you're talking about or what you're going through. That's not, because I wouldn't talk about it. I wasn't even really aware. I knew my mom was a bitch sometime. And I knew that, she would do things that I really didn't think were right. I honestly could. And that's one thing I think my mother understood. She understood that what I saw in her was wrong. Okay? She wasn't a nice person. There was things that she was endearing about her at times. Like, I still, to this day, I love it when my stuffed animals, somebody makes my stuffed animals talk to me. That is a very soothing and just, it's a wonderful feeling. I don't care if I'm 52 years old. I know it has something to do with me being mature. Okay? But it has everything about the feeling of comfort. The feeling of something cute, so something lovable. Okay? I am not off my rocker. I'm very much in touch with who I am and what pleases me. And I have the right to retreat to what pleases me in a world that wants to kill me. Okay? So you need to understand that I believe this is the way I am. Okay, and your simple minds can't understand that. Oh, now you might see the light now, and the only thing you could possibly see in me is dollar signs. That's the only thing that you could see in me. And I'm aware of it, so I'm staying the fuck away from you. It's called restraining orders. It's called don't sit here and try to devise another plan. Fuck you, leave me alone. Okay, I wrote you off years ago when I fucking started waking up to this. But the more I start unraveling it, bringing Terry Owens in, my mind is big. It's like beyond blown. Beyond blown. You see, it's so sick to me. Because then you tried to make it a righteous issue, which made it even worse. You got these people who don't even know what the fuck they're talking about, don't even know what their religion is. I already went on with all that. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to bring it up. Okay, I'm not apologizing to you because I would never say anything nice or considerate to you. And nor do you deserve it. Okay, I'm saying I'm sorry to my target individual friends for me retracting and me having to repeat myself. I'm angry because, I've gone through this so many times. And I will say, when I was younger, like I said, there was no reason for me to work. I didn't have to. You know what I mean? If I got tired one day and just got sick of everybody running their stupid mouths, I'd go to lunch and not come back. That's what I did when I was younger. Okay? And I'm talking real young. And I didn't feel that I used to suffer any consequences for it. You know what? You were boring the hell out of me. And it wasn't necessarily because I was being irresponsible. I was being bullied. So why the fuck should I go back? See, there was... you know what? I always start thinking about this and how it's always been everywhere I've gone. And then I realize, you have a real problem. Okay? You have a real problem. And the reason why I think there's something demonic about it is the fact that you have the ability to convince so many people of what you're doing is right, even though it's the most absurd shit I have ever heard in my entire life. Okay, which means that just goes to show you the power of how much a demonic influence can have. Because when people start believing ridiculous bullshit, you better believe demonic forces are behind it. All these so-called educated people, well, they're dumb anyway. But still, like I said, how is it that you can think... Okay. It is too much for me sometimes. You know, I get tired of people trying to, you know, belittle my feelings, like, oh, you know, she's making a big deal out of this. I am making a big deal out of my life. My life. You know, I had very little. I had very little. I raised my son the best I could, though. You know what I mean? I did. I'm not perfect, but I did the best I could. You know? But still, you know, I did what I had to do. You know, some people would have probably turned to the life of crime. No, I did. I tried to be honest about everything. You know, I tried to mean what I mean by that is like I never resorted to prostitution or selling drugs or anything. I never did anything like that. You know, when I was younger, yeah, I wrote bad checks for fun. I did because I was curious. Like, okay, well, what happened if this happened? Yeah, okay, I did some stuff. So I was young. I learned my lesson. And a lot of karmic lessons as well. You know. So you don't need to teach me a lesson. I'm an adult now. You know? Everyone makes mistakes. But see, when you are hated, everything that you do gets amped up. Like ridiculously amped up. You know? Anyway. It doesn't matter. To me, you got to know what you are to me. Okay? You got to know what you are to me. You are talking about Bruce's family. I'm talking about my family. That's just fucking evil. And there's nothing that's going to convince me that you're not. So, but I need to move on with my life. And no, I'm not taking care of anybody. You know, that's absurd. And if you think that just goes to show you how much this human trafficking plays into everything. How much you try to use people, you know, and put them in some form of some sort of slavery. No, I'm not fucking, I don't give a fuck about you. Die in the street. You should have a long time ago. If you haven't already. Because when I start feeling like your energies and shit, I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything. So I don't know if you guys are alive or dead. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care. As long as you're not bothering me anymore. Anyway. I know it's unusual because people want to hear love stories. They do. They want to hear family love stories and like all this, like, you know, everybody thinks that's refreshing. You know, I was so bored last night trying to fall asleep. I started watching this thing about this Mormon family that have like 19 kids and stuff, and they're all smiling in the sunlight and shit. I'm like, God. No, I didn't go looking for it. It just like flashed on my thing, right? So as the first time I'm watching it, and I'm thinking, you know, they always portray, and I'm sure this is a reality show of some sort. It probably is, and people are pretending to be happy when they're really not. This is a very hard world we live in. Very hard. And I'm aware of it. You know, and unfortunately, I've had to suffer from it for very many, many years. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. I'm talking softly and kindly to my fellow targeted individuals, but I mean, you know, what else can I say to the perps? Moving on. Take care.